And I'm really excited to bring you guys my opening matchup here in this FIFA 16 Euro 2016 Under 21 YouTuber tournaments. And of course, Switzerland versus Northern Ireland, Chalupajuana versus BMOnus. A very good matchup. BMOnus is a tremendous YouTuber. Definitely should check him out if you haven't already. And like I said before in the previous video, it's going to be a hybrid video basically. Going to do a mix of a growth test and also as well as have this matchup. So if you are basically following me for the growth test, subscribe to me for the growth test, you'll see this whole squad that I selected here basically shown up to like 2028. So stay tuned for that. Then of course, if you are interested in the collab, you'll see that matchup also. But it's basically the starting 11. I went Vucevic over Gulen actually because I really like his 6'4" frame, very strong. Then you can see solid midfield like Zakaria, very strong, going to be a good CDM for us. Fernandez, Rodriguez, and Tarashai, very good midfielders. Then of course the man Mbolo up top next to a nice target man Frey. Khalifi could offer us a lot off the bench with his pace, his agility, decent dribbling as well. Georgiev, Oberlin, Garcia, all very good young players. Also, Najeti is kind of the like for Frey for us, so we need another target man. He can certainly come in off the bench. Gulen, of course, a very good center back. I do want to implement him eventually because he's just very good physically and solid defender, especially for this level per se. But taking a look at the lineup, you can see it again here. I went with this 4-4-2 diamond wide, trying to drop Zakaria back as deep as possible to help out defensively, so I can just get those guys, attacking players, go forward quite a bit and have them kind of be more like a extra center back at times, but that's very difficult to do in this game. It's something that really needs to be fixed. Center defensive mids, you actually play like center defensive mids. But either way, getting into this opening matchup, I had a lot of crosses sent into the box, and you'll see it. It was almost cheesy at times, so I apologize to B for that. But basically, it was almost FIFA 14-esque. But it's the most I could get going forward. He was actually very organized defensively. He had really nice defense. He gave me a lot of room out the side. On the wings. I took advantage of that, and you can see Mbolo getting my opening goal of the tournament there. Exactly, the guy who I basically chose this team for. Mbolo was basically the reason. You can see his keeper though really played out of his mind for a 53 rated, pretty short goalkeeper. He looks like he's a lot shorter than 6 foot, but very good save from him while being basically obstructed in what should have been an offside call. But we are very dangerous on these set pieces throughout. We just had a big height advantage. Elvedi heading that one in as well. You'll see it throughout in the highlights. We just really dominate in the air, and it's probably need to be a bit more efficient with the ball on the ground coming up, because I know against Turkey and England we're going to be facing some better defenders, better players all around. But B really had some good chances. You can see him putting a good chance on goal. If he would have had better finishers, he probably would have been in a much better shape. Of course, he actually had to play Paddy McNair in the midfield because he was basically his best player. And throughout, you can see him actually putting some good efforts on goal. And this time you'll see this set piece also, and another big save from his 53 rated goalkeeper there. Again, dominant in there. I won the majority of set pieces. I can only recall maybe losing 2 or 3 headers on set pieces, and you see it again, his keeper coming up big. This could have been a much different game at times if it wasn't for him, his keeper coming up big on these headers. And you see another chance here on this corner kick. You're just dominated by these possessions, these set pieces, and you see another good save from his goalkeeper to put that out. So I continue to push for a goal. I should have probably scored a bit more, been a bit more dominant in the match at times. And you'll see now again that head game. It sounds head game. That header game, I think that's a little bit better to describe that finish from Mbolo. As very surprised from that header. Incredible power on it, looped over, decent placement. Maybe the keeper could have done a little bit better, but his keeper kept out quite a bit of those set pieces, those corner kicks throughout. You can see that again. Nice little flick on, and Mbolo puts that one in the back of the net. So I do have that option to play direct, but it's not something I'd want to rely on in all honesty throughout. I need to be able to play on the ground a bit more against some of these teams coming up. You can see some good chances created eventually from Rodriguez, and the keeper makes a bit of a blunder, bit of a lucky penalty for me per se. And you'll see this again, just kind of something a 53 rated keeper will do, and something combine that with a weird match engine, a weird physics engine, excuse me, you will get those penalties. I'm sure we all have had one of those strange penalties quite a bit, but for some reason I put this shot directly at where he was shaded, his goalkeeper, and unfortunately we could not grab a fourth goal. But eventually this match would end 3-0. I thought it was a decent result. It was much needed. I mean, a win's a win, but look at all these shots on goal. It had a bigger goal differential, and I just need to play a lot better on the ground. But either way, it's a good start. As you can see in the table, I'm basically in control now. Basically, 2 draws would probably be efficient to get through now. I do want to win. I don't want to play for draws and be like that, but especially since I do have a decent side. But coming up, I'm facing some pretty good squads in Turkey and England who arguably are probably more talented than me in game. But either way, it was a very good matchup. Enjoyed playing BMOnus. He's a great guy. So if you haven't checked out his channel, you definitely should. It's gonna be left in the description along with every other YouTuber involved in this career mode. But we'll get into the growth test portion now. So year 2020, I'll be flipping through. You can see the different overalls. With Drake, I was very intrigued by him. He got some decent growth throughout Alvedi. You can see him continuing to grow. Chalupajuana, I think is how to pronounce his name. But he actually is a decent fullback. One you should look out for. Zacarias looking very solid. Fernandez getting up there. Rodriguez did have some drops in his physical stats, but solid technically here at the 75 overall. And Tadashai grew very quickly, very good pace, agility, ball control, dribbling up there. Then of course Embolo is Embolo. I have done a player growth test on him before if you do want to check that out as well. Frey getting some good improvements, a mix of pace and strength at the moment. Khalifi looking like a very good, spark off the bench type of winger. Georgiev still has quite a bit, being a young 22-year-old player, excuse me. Then Oberlin at the 73 overall mark at age 22. Luis Garcia is a very good left back, one I certainly would recommend. So 2020 still looking very good for such a young player. Has some room to grow also. So a few guys I certainly recommend. Ajeti is actually glitched in game and goal, and look at those physical stats. He's only 5'11", but he is a must-buy center back in my opinion. Gelmi not looking too bad either, and Berton is a fairly solid player, and Karim Rossi actually isn't too bad also, as you see a couple other players here to round out. Anga could be a good option for a fullback for you as well. But moving on here, year 2023, Mbogo at 77. Of course, goalkeepers do not grow for shit, but Jenko at this 80, Vutrik at the 74, Alvedi at an 80 here. And then you'll see again, I highly recommend Chalupajuana. I'm just going to give it a go. Different pronunciation, I'd probably say. I think he's going to be a very good player for you. He's a solid fullback in general. Fernandez looking good throughout. Rodriguez, a very solid player. Again, the dribbling up there. Very good mix of finishing. Tadashai is definitely a very versatile player. Then, of course, Fry has some good physicals with that mix of pace. Solid agility, very good strength. And Khalifi continues to show very well. This is about what he would cap out at 76 is what he would finish out at, basically, with his growth. So, for 76 overall player, he was very good. And you see some of these other younger players. Luis Garcia for 78 overall is looking very good. I think he would finish up at a 79 in the next batch. The next couple years, 2026, I think is the next year I'll be showing. And Gulin, again, 77 overall, very good marking, tackling, decent in the air, very good physicals. And Gelmi looks like he'll be a pretty solid kind of road to glory style player. And Berton, not too bad either. As you see, Karim Rossi get to 75 overall, not too bad of a player either. I think he'd be a solid grab for you guys. As Nga also looks like he'd be a good rotational fullback for you. But getting to 2026, I did end up basically kind of moving out some of the players that did actually cap out throughout. But you'll see Janko again getting to this 83 overall, age 30. Gulen still at a decent level, did not drop much physically also at 32 years old. And Alvedi would get to this 83 at age 29, which is very solid. And he would not, Florent, I'll call him, the Swiss right back, very solid physically, very good mix of stats, could certainly play as a center back, just has the high medium work rates. And Edmilson Fernandez gets an 83 overall, age 30, as well as Francisco Rodriguez at the 79 overall, age 30, which is pretty solid. Bertone, a very solid player all around. You see all that green, decent physicals, very good mental stats, so he certainly could be a good option for you. As Embolo hits the 89 at age 29, and Frey hits a 76 at age 31, just about what you'd cap out at there. So I think he's a very good physical player also, in my opinion. Georgiev getting to 75 overall, very pacey, good ball control, dribbling, will certainly be a solid rotational type winger at kind of BPL clubs. As this is Garcia gets to it, 78 overall, age 30, not too bad. Again, Ajeti is glitched, but even for a non-glitch player, I think he looks decent. Sure, 72 overall player, but well, I'll actually have a video for him coming up probably with once I do a batch of glitch players. And Gelmi looks pretty good for a 75 overall center back also. But rounding out here, you'll see some of the few players left basically. Invogo 83 overall, age 33. Zhenko at an 84 overall at 32. Gelmi at the 75 overall, age 33. Elvedi reaches an 84 overall, age 31. And Florence actually stayed again at a pretty decent level throughout. Zakaria would cap out at a 77 overall, so you can see him degrading there in his overall at that point. But 84 for Fernandez, 81 for Rodriguez. Georgiev capping at a 77 overall. And Bolo reaches a 91 overall. Oberlin reaches an 82 overall here in year 2028, age 30 also. So just to round out this out, I know it's quite a different video. I do apologize if it wasn't as fluid as most of my growth tests, but I did want to integrate these growth tests with this collab together for you guys. So I hope you did enjoy if you stuck through this whole video. But either way, guys, thanks for tuning in. I really enjoyed this collaboration. Make sure you subscribe to all the guys involved in this. But with that, guys, again, thanks for tuning in. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.